Green. Uh, Thank you very much for being here. If you haven't been to one of these webinars before, then you're very welcome. If you have, welcome back. Let me help you to quickly orient yourself. There should be a chat function. Please do avail yourself of the chat. I do love it when people get involved, so don't hold back in saying hello. You'll also see a polls function somewhere on your screen as well. There's a poll currently in there that's live just for you to respond to while we're waiting for the last few people to dribble into the room. So please do give me that response to that poll just to help me a little bit with this session. Hi, Nick. Great to see you. Thanks for coming back. And there's also a handouts tab. There'll be, I always try to have something for you to take away. Hi, Jenna. And there'll be something in that handout tab later. So do have a quick look around as I can see a few more people coming into the room. Let me get the chat up in front of me. If you were here last time around, hi, Lisa. Hi, Penny. It's lovely to see all you people coming back. Hi, Olivia. If you were on last month's webinar about AI, humorously enough, for a webinar about technology, we had some Wi-Fi issues. I have shoved my laptop as close to the router as possible and given the router a good kick. So hopefully we'll be okay today. As I say that, it says at the top, signal bad. So you never know, do you? Anyway, I can see that our numbers are growing. So let's get cracking. So I'm picking up where we left off in January. If you came to January's webinar, and we do these on the last Wednesday of each month, that's the idea. Free webinar. January's webinar was about getting started on camera, building your confidence on camera. So I'm going to assume that everyone here has now done that. We're now all happy going on camera. We might not have mastered the art of it, but we what do you mean, no, Lisa? Yes, you have. We might not have mastered the art of it, but we are at least happy to appear on camera, and we're at least invested in the idea that it's worth doing. That's more like it, Dan. Dan loves being on camera. It's contagious, isn't it? So I'm not going to delve into the, here's why you should do video. Here's the business argument for doing video. I'm going to assume that we have complete buy-in from everybody in the room. And where I'd like to start today, let's get these slides up. Where I'd like to start today is at the end, because I have a horrible habit of not allowing time for this. So any questions? You don't have to ask them now. But yes, I'm going to delve into 3 particular types of video that I think are especially effective in helping to grow your business. But I'd also like to cover off some helpful information just about the process of making those videos. So if you do have any questions about the process of appearing on camera, editing videos, posting videos, anything like that, or if you just want to know what I have for breakfast, then do post those questions in the chat, and I will try and keep an eye on that and answer them as we go along. Now, if you don't know me and you're new to these, then you're very welcome. These are fast, probably quite chaotic half-hour sessions. I'm going to try and limit it to 30 minutes. I've got a hell of a lot to go through, so I'm really going to crack on. My name's Toby. I was until last year an agent. I ran my company for the last 10 years, and I've now leapt into the infinite abyss that is training and consulting, with speciality in lettings, social media, and this video. I love making videos. It did wonders for my business. They are free to create and post out there. It is a wonderful, cost-effective form of marketing. And since becoming a consultant, I hate this bit. I hate self-promotion, but I'm going to screw up my eyes, and I've got one slide, which I'm going to go into now. If you're interested in this, if you're not, just block your ears and go la la la, and we'll get on to some really informative stuff in a minute. If you are interested, then 24th of April, this is going to be such a fantastic day, and it is so relevant to what we're talking about today. Those 2 chaps on the screen, Chris England and Matt Lee of PVS Media, who are artists in the world of property videos, They will be running a training day with me all about video marketing. Olivia booked on today. What a legend. Thank you very much. It is £50. £50 for a whole day with 3 video experts. We're going to run through how to build confidence on camera, what videos to make, how to edit them, how to get them in front of potential clients, how to measure the effectiveness of that. So if I was really organized, I'd have the link now to put in the chat. But do you know what? If you're interested, just message me and or go on my social media and you'll find it all over the place. So there's people in the chat saying that they're going to be there. Thank you so much. That day is going to be brilliant. Will we do it in Bath? Good question, Lisa. Not yet. At the minute, we're doing it in London. We'll see how it goes, and hopefully it proves popular and we can do more around the country. But at the moment, this is a one-off. And so, yeah, that's the self-promotion done. It's going to be a great day, and I hope to see some of you there. Let's move on to video. And God, we're already 5 minutes down. So let's crack on. There's lots to get through. We've got the confidence to appear on camera. We've got the buy-in to make videos and know that it's going to help to grow our business. So what do we need from that point? Well, first of all, Sarah, you absolute superstar. Sarah has very kindly shared in the chat the booking link to that course. Thank you very much. There we go. That is how bad I am at self-promotion. I have to rely on the kindness of other people to help me with it. Okay. We need to make a video. We need to make a video to help grow our estate agency. So the first thing we need is some gear. I'm going to go through this very quickly because there's not a lot that you need. And these things on the screen here, this is the most that you'll need. A mobile phone. I'm trusting that we've all already got that. You don't need anything fancier than a mobile phone. If you've got it, then that's great. If you don't, use your mobile phone. It is perfectly adequate. Hi, Michelle. Don't worry. Microphones are essential. If you're in my WhatsApp chat, to my video WhatsApp chat, you'll know we chatted about this recently, and we did a little experiment comparing no microphone to even a cheap microphone, and the difference is considerable. And when you think about people browsing on social media, if you land on a video with crappy sound, you're not going to linger on that video. You're going to scroll on. So invest 25 quid off Amazon gets you a perfectly good microphone. If you're fancy, then 80 to 90 quid gets you a magnificent microphone. That is the one thing that's worth buying. Phone, either in portrait and landscape positions. That's the essential thing about that. Lights are handy. You can get a pair of LED lights. I've got one right here shining on my face. That cost me £35 for a pair of them off Amazon. And it's particularly helpful if you've got either a poorly lit room or a room which has harsh lighting from above, which can cause some slightly unfortunate shadows if you're like me and you have a big nose. And the lights, small investment, makes a little bit of a difference. Good sound, good lighting, that's all you need in a video. And finally, CapCut. CapCut is a wonderful free piece of video editing software. You don't need anything fancier. You can use it on your mobile phone. You can use it on your desktop computer. And if you really want to, you can pay £10 a month to unlock the snazzy features, but you don't have to have that for basic editing. You can use it completely free of charge. So that's the gear. What else do we need to think about here? Don't need slides for this. So we need a space in our office. I know some people like Michelle. Michelle, you've got a green wall, haven't you? Which I love. Michelle has painted one wall of her office the color of a green screen, which is fantastic. But do you know any nook or quiet corner of your office I'm sure you can use? You just need a space where there is not too much background noise and not too cluttered. Ideally, you want the background to be fairly plain. I personally am slightly against overloading the screen with branding. Some people choose to stand in front of a banner of their business. I don't think that's necessary. And for me, it runs the risk of deterring the viewer, because the moment they see branding, they know that you're trying to sell them something, and it gets their hackles up. So I say just a nice blank or nicely arranged background. Again, on the branding front, some people also put their logo when they're editing the video into the video. And just think for a moment about where people are going to see this video. It's most likely that they're going to see it either on your website or on social media. So it's already on a page that is branded to you. So do you really need the additional branding in your video? For me, that's a little bit too much. What else? Are we filming in landscape or portrait? I have a simple rule, which is if it's under 3 minutes, film it in portrait. If it's over 3 minutes, film it in landscape. The reason for that is because if you post it onto YouTube and it's under 3 minutes and it's portrait, it's a YouTube short. YouTube shorts have a maximum runtime of 3 minutes, and most social media video is now in portrait. So to avoid having to re-edit landscape videos into portrait to use them on social media, I just recommend recording as much in portrait as possible, and only in landscape if it's over 3 minutes in length. And that even goes for property tours. I'll come back to that later though. Do you want to stand or sit? I like to stand up because I'm quite expressive. I like to wave things around, but do whatever is most comfortable for you. There's no right or wrong with that. And finally, how to prepare for the video. Do you work from a script? Do you work from bullet points? Or do you go completely off the cuff? Well, that depends how confident you are, obviously. If at all possible, avoid the script. And I know that you can get apps which act as a teleprompt and allow you to read it off the camera, but the more scripted you are, the more wooden you will be. So try to go for as few notes as possible. If you want bullet points, especially if you're using data and you've got numbers that are hard to retain in your mind, then scribble them on a piece of paper and then tape that piece of paper to the tripod that's holding your phone. And that way you're not having to avert your eyes too much from the camera that you're trying to make eye contact with when you're looking to your notes. So that's a good way to do it. But do you know what? You know your business, you know the market, and you know your stuff. So I would trust yourself to do it off the cuff if it's a topic that is familiar to you. And it might take a couple more takes, but it will make for a much more natural and conversational video. I'm going to delve into, oh no, I've got one more point on this, but if anyone does have any questions about basic video good practice, then drop them into the chat now. The other bit is framing, and I've got a visual aid here. So look at this terrifying photo. So how should you frame? We've all had those Zoom calls with elderly relatives where they're like this on the screen, and so the good way to avoid that is to go into the settings of your camera and to switch on the camera grid, which, as you can see from that image, just helps you to frame the video. Ideally, what you're looking for here, if you're doing a piece to camera, is for your eyes to be more or less level with that top horizontal line. So as you can see, my face is a little bit high in that, but that gives you a good guide. So you just want to try to line that up before you start recording and get your eyes level with that top horizontal line. A really easy way to frame it. So there you go. Some quick tips about how to get started with the video, how to get yourself ready to record. Let's dive into some actual videos now. It's very quiet on the chat. I hope that you're all still there. It's discerningly quiet. Thank God, Olivia. Would you would you still recommend lighting tools, mobile clip on light for walkthrough property tours? You want as much light as possible. no matter what you're filming. So when it comes to walkthrough tours, something that a lot of agents forget to do is to prepare the property before they start filming. By which I mean, go through the house, turn on all the lights, turn on the extractor hood light, turn on the if you've got those LED lights under the kitchen counters, under the kitchen units, turn them on. Get as much natural light by opening up the curtains as possible, and prepare the property that way. I don't think that you will find that you need to add more light than that. But if you have a way of getting some kind of additional light by using clip-on lights and things like that in there, then that's no bad thing at all. Oh God, I need to get that image of me off the screen. Jeez, it's like something from a horror movie. So let's go on to the actual body of this. Here's a list of the kinds of videos that I would suggest you consider using in your business. These are all good videos for actually generating business. Video tours we'll come back to. FAQs we'll come back to. Market updates is quite an obvious one, but I always suggest doing them once a month using some data from your CRM about the local market. Behind the scenes and bloopers. Do not undervalue the effectiveness of bloopers. It's one of the most effective forms of marketing because it conveys your personality. So always save your bloopers, don't delete them. Meet the team videos are a great way to, again, convey the personality of your teams. I like putting meet the team videos in the email signature. Pre and post appraisal videos, and what I call a top 5 video, which we'll come back to. So I want to pick out these 3 because I think that these 3 are the most effective when we think about actually building business and converting clients. So let's go through them quickly one by one. Now, every video that you produce can be distilled down to a set structure, and this is that. It should have and we're talking about kind of social media friendly videos here, although not. We'll come back to that. Don't just see these as social media videos, but it should have a hook. By and large, you have about 5 seconds to engage your viewer. If you do not engage them in the first 5 seconds, chances are they might scroll past your video. So a hook is something that retains them at the start of the video and normally takes the form of a question, a fact, or a thought-provoking statement to keep them hooked onto your video. Visual hooks are also quite effective, and that's when something quite unusual or eye-catching happens in the first 5 seconds of the video. It might just be you spinning around on your office chair. It might just be you walking into shot and saying hello. But some form of movement. Movement captures the eye. After you've done your hook, you move on to the introduction. Now, one thing that I want to suggest here is do not waste the first 20 seconds of your video saying who you are, saying the name of your business, or saying the phrase, I just thought I'd record a quick video. We're watching your video. You don't need to tell us that you're filming it. Also, we probably know who you are because we're on your social media page. So do you need that introduction? If you would like to introduce yourself and say, hi, I'm Dave Smith. I'm the managing director of Smith Estate Agents. Do it after the hook. So you go hook and then, hi, I'm Toby Martin, and this is a video about XYZ. After you've done the introduction, that's when you get into the main body of your video, 2 or 3 main takeaways. And bear in mind, most videos we're looking to be between 30 and 90 seconds, 2 minutes at the very most. So 2 to 3 main takeaways really is enough. And then how do you finish it? You recap, if you can, encourage engagement in the video by including some kind of thought-provoking statement or using a question at the end of the video that invites an answer. You may want to finish with a call to action, such as, if you're interested in this, give us a call. If you'd like to sell your property, give us a call. And all I'd say with that is be careful that you don't become overly salesy, because being salesy loses trust from your audience. The chances are that they know that you've got a product or a service to sell them. You can rely on the viewer to have some intellect and join the dots themselves. Videos such as property tours are selling videos, so feel free to put a call to action at the end of those. But if it's an informative or educational video, then the main purpose of that video is to build trust with your audience. So when you're building trust by imparting useful knowledge, don't then shoot yourself in the foot at the end of the video by revealing that the only reason you're doing it is to try and sell a service. Retain that trust and just resist the urge to go, and if you're a landlord, then give us a call. So let's go through these 3 video types one by one. Video tours, and there's an image of the amazing Tanya Baker, who is a master at this. And if you want some inspiration, go and seek out her video tours. She, of course, uses a professional video agency. I believe that all video tours can be created in-house very well, but you'll see halfway down that list I put invest and upsell. What some agents do is they invest in professional quality video tours so that they can use that to sell a superior service, either as part of their standard service or as a paid for extra to their clients. So that's one option that you have with video tours. It can be an extra revenue stream if you want to sell it as a service upgrade. But first of all, to the top of that list, what is the purpose of a video tour? A great many people would think that the purpose of a video tour is to sell or let a property. And I could forgive you for thinking that. And yes, there is truth in that, of course. However, gone are the days. You remember when we came out of COVID and we were letting properties without a viewing just based on the video? We were selling homes based on videos, and we all got a little bit carried away. And what that led to is we were all walking around doing our video tours with our phones like this, documenting every last minute inch of a property. We'd be opening the cupboards, we'd open the dishwasher, we'd show inside the washing machine, because we'd be thinking, someone's going to rent this home based on this video, so I need to cover myself by showing them every last millimeter of it. Well, I would say that the main purpose of a video now is to, A, generate interest. Yes, thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Just saved me a lot of words there. To show the best bits, so we're piquing our audience's interest. A highlights reel of a home, just to try and get them hooked and elicit that initial inquiry from them. But showing how good we are as an agent, I love that. Thank you, Nick, as well. Yes, it is to showcase your business, because sure as hell, when a client is thinking of using your services, of course they're going to look at your listings to see how good you are at listing their homes. And if you've got a really impressive video tour on there, that is going to reflect well on you. So part of the reason for doing a video tour is to sell your services to future clients. So for that reason, they need to be impressive and they need to be made well. I'm going to skip on because time is already ebbing away. So remember that that structure, and I'm going to put myself in the shoes here of an agent who is on their own in a property. They don't have a film crew with them. They don't even have a colleague with them. How do you put that structure into a video tour? And there's a picture of another great video maker, Alex Pelosi Buchanan. And I talked about the hook. Here's something that I've seen both Tanya and Alex doing recently. This is their hook. They magic behind the curtain. They pretend to read a video tour. Sorry, they pretend to read a text message at the start with that text on the screen. Hi, Alex, I'm looking for a 5-bedroom property. It has to be in the village of Hlangatak. And ideally, we're not looking for any work. Sorry if I mangled that word, Jenna. So that's their kind of unusual little hook there that just lures you in. It gives you a little bit of information about what's to come. What I would do if I was filming a video on my own is I'd set up my tripod on the doorstep and I'd do a quick introduction from outside. So I do you could do this, what Alex is doing, or you would say something like, welcome to Smith Street. I'm about to show you around this 4-bedroom home, and you are not going to believe how beautiful the kitchen is. Come on side with me. So you've got that little hook there of you're not going to believe how beautiful the kitchen is. Hook, introduction, and key insights. What I would do then if I was filming this on my own is I'd go around the home and I'd record some highlights of each room. Just curated highlights, not the millimeter by millimeter dissection. You can then, when you're back at the office, record a voiceover for those sections, or you can just lay music over them. I do like the voiceover myself because it gives you that chance to provide some extra information. And then again, if I was filming this on my own, I go to a different part of the house, maybe the garden, to film a closing summary to camera. And that's when I do my call to action. So there you go. Hook, insights, closing summary. You can do that completely on your own. FAQs. I bang on about FAQs so much because this is by far and away the most effective way of building trust and familiarity. And I always talk in my training about that magic equation. That's what you're trying to do in your marketing. You're trying to build trust and familiarity. FAQs is a great way to do that. And what I recommend that people do is get their team together and get them to write down all of the questions they've ever been asked by landlords, tenants, buyers, and sellers. All complex and straightforward questions. Between those 4 categories, you should be able to come up with 100. If you're posting out 2 of those a week, you've got a year's content, and that is educational, informative content that your market will genuinely have an interest in. Nick, I've seen your FAQs. They are brilliant. So I'm now putting in the handout section. I do recommend you do that with your team. If you don't have time, then I've got a document of FAQs for you. There's 150 questions in there, 50 of which are on the Renters' Rights Bill, and then 50 each for each of those 4 categories. Now, this is when I want to get on to repurposing content. So if you are making these educational, informative videos, how do you turn it into business? That's the bit that we're interested in. So the video itself is only one part of this. The second part is what you do with that video. Don't just throw it out onto social media and hope it lands in front of the right person. Yes, of course, we're going to post it on social media, but here's some other things that you can do. First of all, as you make these FAQs, you're going to build an internal library of videos. As we say, maybe up to 100 videos ultimately, answering genuinely helpful questions. Use that internal library. Make sure you name the files accurately so you can search for keywords. So this might be about first-time buyers. If I need to find that video, I go into the folder, search for first-time buyers, and I can find that video. When your sales team or your customer-facing team get the opportunity to share that video directly with somebody, then they should do that. Reuse that content to put it directly in front of somebody. So you might have a prospective vendor call you and say, I'd like you to come and value my home, please. Actually, this is the first time I sold a home, so I need a bit more information than usual. You could then have an FAQ that is lined up specifically for a first-time seller and say, absolutely, I'll book in that appointment for you. And actually, do you know what? We've got a little video that's specifically for someone who's selling their home for the first time. I'm going to WhatsApp it to you right now, and that might just be quite informative. By doing that, before the market appraisal, they have seen the face, the personality of your business. You've also imparted helpful information to them directly, and they're indebted to you. So I'd say that steals you a march at the market appraisal. Repurpose them on your blog. However, I don't like to call them blogs. For me, blogs is about local interests, what's happening in the local area. This kind of FAQ material, build an entirely separate section called a knowledge hub. It's great when people land on your website and they see knowledge hub. It just conveys how expert you are about your subject matter. It means that whenever they need information, they know to come to your knowledge hub. All the information they need about selling a home is on your knowledge hub in video form. It's a great way to position that information. And then finally, don't overlook your own database. You've got probably hundreds, if not thousands of contacts there who may value the information that you have to share with them. So if it is relevant, use your database to send those FAQs directly to contacts. So for example, if you have people registered as first-time buyers and you do a video about how to secure a mortgage in principle for first-time buyers, then if you can, WhatsApp, because the open rates are far better, but if not, email that video out to everyone in your database who's a first-time buyer. Again, just gradually you're building trust and familiarity, and you are squeezing every last drop of juice out of these videos. Lisa, don't worry if you have to go. The recording will come out afterwards, and I am clearly going to run over. So if you've got 2 FAQs to go out a week, then you've got a video marketing plan that can look something like that. If you just add a monthly market update in that, so say a 4-minute video that you then cut into clips using Opus, which is an AI clipping tool, then quickly you've got a video marketing plan that can look like this. Chuck in a property tour and maybe a Google review or a blooper on a Friday. See how quickly, just with 2 main types of videos, you can build a marketing plan that is based around video, based around you and your personality and your expertise. And that is just from FAQs and market updates and the property tours that you'll be making anyway. Time efficiencies. I'm going to skip through most of these because I'm sure that you all know about time blocking and bulk recording. I really want to very quickly show you a ChatGPT hack. Last time around, I tried to share my screen and it went disastrously wrong. So I'm going to hope for better luck this time. So this is an exclusive for you guys. I haven't put this out on social media yet. Hopefully you can see that. I created a GPT, which is publicly available. I'll put the link in the chat, which converts news articles, such as this one. A third of homeowners are unaware of how interest rates are set, into scripts. So all I did was I pasted in that link and it read the article and it has made a video script using the structure that we went through earlier: hook, intro, insights, summary. And that's probably going to be a 30, 45-second video. Now, I know that I said don't work off scripts. However, those little sections are so short that you could record that in 4 or 5 bytes. So hook, memorize that line. Did you know a third of UK homeowners don't understand how interest rates are set? Look at the next line, memorize it. With mortgage costs rising and the market shifting, knowing how interest rates work matters more than ever, and so on. Let me stop sharing my screen. That's really useful when you want to post up to the minute updates. So for example, what you can do, I'm posting the link in the chat. What you can do is keep an eye out for the first article that comes out, which is what the spring budget means for homeowners, and then put that article through that. And within minutes, you can record an informative video to put out to your audience about that. Use other people's work and work smart by using AI. I'm gonna run over, and I'm not even sorry. But clearly, if you need to go, then go. A recording of this will come out afterwards. I can see I just missed a couple of comments while I was doing that. David, do you recommend videos over a virtual property tour? I'm guessing you're talking about the Matterport kind of virtual tour there. It's a personal preference, but yes, I do prefer videos because it has you in it. And I think that any marketing materials that you can use, which you can put yourself, your team, your personality into, is ultimately more effective than generic materials. Because it's people who win instructions and it's people who make connections. So for that reason alone, I prefer videos, and I prefer videos that have as much personality in them as possible. Okay. Got about 5 minutes left because I've got one final bit to do here. And that's the third kind of video. The third kind of video, which I've left till last because I can probably anticipate that there's probably nobody on here who's doing this. And it's a real bugbear of mine because I think this is a great opportunity. So this is what I call assignment selling. That is not my term. I've nicked that from the brilliant Marcus Sheridan. If you haven't read his book, They Ask You Answer, then that is something for you to do. So what I've done is transported this into the world of estate agency, and I think it's really, really effective when we're talking about winning business with videos. So the purpose of assignment selling is to establish yourself as a trusted expert before you meet the client. These days, when you meet the client, they're already 70% of the way through their decision when you meet them for the market appraisal because of all of the research they've done, all of the thinking they've already done. So you have to do something before you meet them to start building trust. Michelle, how do I save a customized chat GPT? Bookmark it. I think there's a way you can pin it. I'll email out the link afterwards as well. So what is assignment selling? Okay, so you're going to film something called a top 5 video. And that is, we talked about FAQs. Identify the 5 questions that most frequently get asked on a market appraisal. So the 5 things that every landlord or every seller wants to know when you meet them for a market appraisal. And you're going to make that into a nicely polished video. Take a bit of time over that, make it good, because it's going to go out to every prospective client. So then what's going to happen is when someone wants to book a market appraisal, you don't just send them an email saying, I confirm the following appointment, Wednesday, 5 p.m. You send them that email that says, I'm looking forward to meeting you for the market appraisal. And I'd like you to just do one thing before we meet, if that's okay. I'm going to WhatsApp you a short video that is going to answer some of the questions that you are going to want answered on the day. And if you could just take 3 minutes to watch that video or 5 minutes to watch that video, it will mean that we have time for a more productive meeting on the day. So what you've done is a couple of things. First of all, you've set their expectations that by watching that video, they're going to have a more productive meeting with you than with someone who hasn't done that, because you've covered off some of the basic questions already. Secondly, you've made contact with them. They've seen your face. You've built familiarity with them, and you started to build trust with them again by educating them, by giving them information without trying to sell. So by the time you arrive on the day, you've already started to build that trust and familiarity process instead of a cold start. Now, obviously, what's going to happen is a load of people aren't going to watch that video. So make sure they watch it. So what I suggest is that 48 hours before the market appraisal, you give them a phone call and say, I'm just calling to confirm Tuesday's appointment. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Can I also just check that you've had a moment to watch that video? And if they say no, then you can say, if you could just squeeze it in, then it will make for a much more productive meeting on the day. I'd really appreciate it. And by and large, I'm sure the majority of people will then go on to watch that video. So instead of simply confirming the market appraisal and turning up on the day, what you end up with is a market appraisal process that looks something more like this. You confirm the market appraisal, at which case you send them the assignment video. Then I put in an extra step here, which you could do, which would be nice. You send a reminder. Let's say that it's been booked a week ahead. You send them a reminder with an item of value. So that might be your latest market update. You might send them a reminder saying, just a reminder, I'm meeting you next week. And in case you'd like to know what's currently going on in the local market, here's our most recent market update video. Then 48 hours before, you put in a phone call to check that they have completed the assignment. They have watched the video. Of course, you're doing that very politely. Then, oh, I love this. I've put this in here as well. I know some agents who have an automated text that goes out the 24 hours before the appointment saying, can I get you a coffee on my way over? Oh, I love that so much, because they're always offering to make tea or coffee for you, aren't they? So how nice is it if you turn up with 2 mugs of coffee? And then on the day, you arrive with your coffee in hand. They already know your face. They've already been given value by you. They've already been educated by you. So you're no longer someone who's just there to appraise their home. You're no longer someone who just wants to sell a service to them. You're already someone who started to help them and offer them informative advice. So you arrive at the market appraisal, a bona fide hero. Okay, we're 8 minutes over, for which I apologize, and you'll never get that time back, but I hope it's been helpful. So, if there is anything, I'm in no rush. I appreciate some of you may well be, but please do fire away. And what I'd encourage you to do, because I've been on webinars before, you watch it, you have a good time, you go off and you never think about it again. So do jot down your one thing. No need to share it unless you want to, but grab a notepad, jot down what is the one thing you would take in this webinar that you'd like to implement in future. Josh, is it worth paying to promote videos on Instagram and Facebook, etc.? I never have done, but I know a lot of agents do. So what I would say is, it's very easy to pour money down the drain doing that. And I would make sure that someone is running the adverts. Basically, I would outsource it unless you're an expert in it yourself. Because I think that you've got to know what you're doing in order for those paid adverts to hit the right demographic. Otherwise, you're just wasting your money. So I've got absolutely no formal relationship with them, but Agent Extra are a great company. But what I would say is that there are organic ways to get your ads in front of the right people. Like I said, your CRM, the market appraisal process. I haven't spoken about Facebook groups. Facebook community groups are great, but don't put anything in there that's designed to sell. What I would suggest, this is a great idea. Don't go. This is a great idea. If your local town or city doesn't yet have a Facebook group that is called something like moving house in Dublin or buying and selling in Dublin, then make one. It's a great opportunity. Make a Facebook group that is designed to help people to secure their next move or to sell their house in your local area, and promote that group in the local community groups and help to drive people through it. Then you are moderating that group. You are in charge of that group. You can drop in your FAQ videos into there. You can put in stuff about the local market in there. It will help to establish yourself as the go-to expert. So there are organic things that you can do like that without, I really like that idea. That's something that I had to come back to when I got a bit more time to talk about how to set that up. Jenna, best way to get shy members of staff over their video worries. It's not easy. And this is something that a lot of people come to me for, to say, I want to do more video content, but my team won't buy into it. So what I would say is, first of all, you've got to build the case. You've got to get them to buy into it. You've got to get them to understand the business case for this video marketing approach, and that we're not just trying to be mean to them by putting them out of their comfort zone. Then after that, it's a question of building familiarity. I don't know if you remember back to January's webinar, but really the only way to, oh my God, I'm wearing the same shirt in that photo. I do have other clothes. The best way to normalize the feeling of appearing on camera is to do it frequently. So set up an in-office WhatsApp chat, which, Jenna, you're in our WhatsApp chat. So just like that. So if you're not in that WhatsApp chat and you'd like to be, drop me a message. But I run a WhatsApp chat for people who want to build confidence on camera. The idea is that there's a daily prompt. There's a daily prompt, which might just be, what did you have for breakfast today? It literally was the other day. Or it might be, what's the best way to find clients in your area? Mixture of business and pleasure. And the idea is that every day you film a video in reply to that prompt. And the act of doing that on a routine, habitual basis, it normalizes the alien feeling of appearing and speaking on camera until it feels much more familiar and much more comfortable. Olivia, interested in hearing about the customized chat GPT. Am I able to find a link to the previous webinar anywhere? Yes, you are. I'll drop you a message after this. And the last webinar, less successful with this because the internet feed kept freezing. So after the webinar, I recorded a specific tutorial about that, and I'll send that to you. Olivia, on the idea about Facebook groups, when we send out the property link to our vendors, when we make their property live, we encourage them to post it on local groups. Yeah, great idea. And what I would also say is, if you are setting up a local community Facebook group that is buying and moving in Bournemouth, then when tenants or buyers register with you, you can say to them, we'll put you on our database, but also I strongly suggest that you join this Facebook group as well, because do you know what? When we take on a new property, we do a Facebook Live from the group. So that's the first place to find out about homes before they even hit Rightmove. Then you can feed people into that community group to help drive numbers up. Okay, I think we've reached the end. The comments have stopped. And if you need me in any way, then my contact details are on the screen. And I will, Olivia, I will send you the link to the AI webinar. We'll have another one of these next month. The one next month is about repurposing content, so not a million miles from this. It's about, okay, you've posted a blog on your website. Here are 8 things that you can do to make the most of that blog. I hope to see some of you in London in April. If not, I will See you next time. Thanks, everybody. Thank you in the comments. Bye-bye.